G'day guys, welcome back. Today we are smoking and glazing a Christmas ham. So at this time of the year there are hams everywhere. They're already smoked, they're already cured, they're already ready to go. So today we're taking a nice easy route. So first off, let's fire up our Kamado. Today we'll be smoking with cherry wood, 3 chunks. Now like I said, these hams are already smoked, cured, brined, they're ready to go as they are. But why heat it up in an oven when you can add some more smoke and a little bit more flair? We'll let that burn for several minutes before we add our internals. Now I'll be running with the slow roller today. If you don't have a slow roller, use the deflector plates in the lowest position of your divide and conquer rack. It's a good idea to add a drip pan here, but I didn't have any. Now we're going to leave our vents fully open until we hit 80 Celsius on the dome. This is when I set my vents and bring my temps up slowly to my target temp of 125 Celsius. Now once we've hit 125 Celsius at the dome, we want to keep it stable at that temp for a good 30 minutes. What this does is heat soak our ceramic, like preheating an oven. This way you won't end up chasing temps during your cook. Time to take our ham out of its vac seal packaging, and it's a good idea to give that a wipe down with a paper towel because it can be a little bit slippery. This just makes it easy to work with. Using a sharp knife, we're just going to slice around below the knuckle. Now we don't want to go all the way through the meat here, we just want to cut through the actual skin. Now it's time to remove the skin from our fat, and we want to keep as much fat on that ham as possible. In fact, we want to keep it all on there. So using your fingers, you can feel between the fat and the actual underside of the skin. Slowly moving your hand through, keeping upward pressure so as not to dig into that fat. Now take your time here, this is important for presentation down the track. Now we can see our skin is off and our fat is intact. It's time to score our fat. Using a sharp knife, you just want to cut through to the meat on an angle top to bottom and do the same on the other side. This creates a crisscross diamond pattern that looks like that, but on ham. It's true. Now using whole cloves, we're going to push them into the center of the diamond pattern that we've created. Now sometimes this can be hard to see, but that's okay. I'll show you a little tip later on. Now our Kamado Joe is at temp and it's time to put our ham on. Our ham's only been on for 15 minutes and already we can see where we've scored our fat. It started to separate. This is the point where you can go around and check any spots you might have missed with your cloves. It's time to make our glaze. 1.5 cups brown sugar, half a tablespoon Dijon mustard, tablespoon of rice wine vinegar, half a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, half a tablespoon of honey, and half a tablespoon of fresh ground black pepper. Whisk that till it's nice and combined, set it aside. We are 1.5 hours down now. It's a perfect time to check our ham and insert a temperature probe. Try and get the tip of your temperature probe in the center of the thickest part of the meat, but not through to the bone. This way, you'll get a more accurate reading. Now we're going to refresh our glaze. You don't want it too thick, you don't want it too thin. You want it like a nice syrup consistency. 4 hours and 20 minutes later, our ham is at an internal temperature of 52 Celsius. It's time to get our first glaze on. Oh, that's looking fantastic already. Now you can use a mop, a basting brush, or even just let gravity do its thing. But make sure you get a good coverage of your ham, but try and keep at least half of your glaze for the next step. Our target temp today is 60 Celsius, 140 Fahrenheit, and we've just hit 56 Celsius internal temp. Now it's time to do our last glaze. Oh, how good does that look? Now at this stage you can use the last of your glaze, or if you like, you can set some aside for when you're serving up. It's a bit of a dipping sauce. So after 5 hours, we finally hit our internal temperature of 60 Celsius, 140 Fahrenheit. Now it's time to take it off, remove our clothes, slice it up. Seriously, have a fucking look at that. You pull this baby out on Christmas Day, Mrs. Claus may just have a little extra something in her stocking, just for you. Now make sure you get all the clothes out, because if you bite into one of them while you're eating that ham, it is not a pleasant experience. Let's just take a moment to truly appreciate the colour of this ham today. Smoked over cherry wood for 5 hours to an internal temp of 60 Celsius. That way we don't run the risk of drying our ham out. Basted with that homemade glaze. The colours are fantastic. The smell is phenomenal. Bit of fat with a bit of meat, you are in heaven. This is just one of those Christmas classics that never gets old. G'day guys, welcome back today. G'day guys, welcome back today. We're going to be, fuck me. They're already, now this time of the year, using natural fire. Now we're using, using a natural fire lighter. We've got a fire starter, fire fire starter. Using a natural fire starter, we're gonna light up that Kamado. Using a natural fire starter. As I said, these hams, they're already cured, they're smoked, they're ready to go. But we're gonna smoke it again because we have a Kamado, and why the fuck not? Now that our fire's going, we're just gonna set up our internals. Now I'm using the low and slow. Fuck me, low and slow. Now don't forget, now it's time now to set up our internals. Now I'm using the low and, We're gonna let that burn for 7 to 10 minutes. We're gonna let that burn for several minutes before we set up our, We're gonna let that burn. Well, it drip pan. It's a good idea to add to my target temp of 125.7. This helps heat soak. This heat soaks us. This heat soaks us. This heat soaks. This heat soaks the. Oh fuck! Heat soaks the ceramic. This heat soaks the. Fuck me. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Merry Christmas.